this young lady we're about to bring in, she is my hero. She is the creator and executive producer of the Black Friday Report. She is also the moderator of Comedy Hype News. She's the one and only Symphony Thompson. Amen.
Yes. That was so sweet. You make me sound important.
No, you are important. Girl, you had me hollering. This young lady right here, I want everybody to know out here in Philly, this woman right here, she is crazy. I mean, because I'm looking at you on Comedy Hype, and you keep so professional, and then I see you in a different light when I visit your page and start to, go through your history. And I'm like, oh my God, I said, she is just a regular, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was recently talking to one of my friends just about branding. And I said, I think I'm going to call myself the media chameleon, because a lot of people come from like the audience from Comedy Hype will come on my Instagram and like, this is not how you act on, this is not how you act on Comedy Hype. But I'm like, well, yeah, there are multiple parts of me, and that's just the professional side. And then, when you come over here, you get to see more of my personality. So yeah, I said I'm gonna start calling myself the media chameleon, because there's so many different hues, so many different hues.
Yeah, so many layers.
I love it. But so we're gonna march through your career, your tenure thus far, because I just want to know how, where did you come from? You so young, you know what I mean? I know black don't crack, but you young, you know what I mean?
I am, 29 years young. That's all.
Wow, I'm envious, man. I know we got the gray going on here, but
no, listen, I am praying, like I want my whole head to be gray. Like I want the whole head. Gray me out, Lord. Like gray me out, please.
Says the 29-year-old.
We'll see how I feel about 30,
exactly.
40, 50 years.
When you get here, you're gonna be like, you know what? I don't want to be played out no more.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love gray hair. It's so beautiful.
Oh man, I'm just happy that that God has used you. I seen that you was a believer. I was like, oh shit, Chris, I said, what's up? I said, let me dive in. I said, let me go scoop her up, because that's what PraisEluJAH Radio-SHOW is all about. It's about Christian lives and the things that we do. Because some people think that we're just like one dimensional and we can only do one thing. I can't work for the lottery system. I'm like, no, the whole world is wicked. so we're in it. Exactly. So we have to go into the world, the world of medicine, the world, the world of sports. There's different worlds within the world. So that word transcends. So, but I want to, start off by asking you, like, how did you get started? Like when you were a little girl, like, did you see yourself doing this, and how did this all begin?
Yeah. So, being a little girl, I definitely did not see myself doing this at all, but I did used to, and obviously when back then I didn't understand it, but looking back, I used to put on like talent shows for my family. We used to like handwrite tickets to like come to the show, make sure you're there, and like put on entire productions. I mean, like organizing set design, back then to us, it's just like, oh, this is fun. This is just what we like to do. But looking back, like God was always putting and instilling things in me that then I didn't understand it, but now I do. So I'll say, like, consciously, I was not aware that this was even an occupation or something that you could go into, right? Because you're always told, like, go to school, go to college, get a good job. But nobody ever talks about, oh, the person I'm seeing on TV, I can actually do that. Or the person I'm hearing on the radio, I can actually do that. I remember watching, I don't know if y'all remember Monique when she used to do, of course Monique, but when she used to host the BET Awards, she would host it in a different way. Like she would always do like a Beyonce performance.
Yeah.
And then and I really enjoyed just the full production of not just talking to the audience and being able to like create something that's going to engage you and keep you entertained. So I used to always watch that, but had no idea that I would be where I am at all.
Man, that's awesome. Being a little girl, so you're growing up, because at one point, when we look back in time, we all just seen Oprah, you know what I mean? And Oprah was it. But then, as you said, Monique started hosting. She even got her own show on BET at one time, and she had the radio show. So Monique was popping on all cylinders, you know what I mean, at one point. And
Absolutely.
it was a beautiful thing. So, but so as for you, so so when you got to college, so you're growing up, you're in college. So what did you do? How did you, how did you see it from there? Like what led
Yeah.
you? What was the thing that pulled you?
So actually, so I went to school. I ran track in college. Actually, so backtrack. I started running track in high school because my sister. I went to visit her at her high school, and she was in ROTC. And this man by the name of First Sergeant Moss was like, "You're gonna run track," and I'm like, "Okay, I guess. I guess I'm gonna do it." So I started running track ninth grade, and did it all through high school. College was like in my mind, but I didn't have any like plans for it. It wasn't until I got very successful in track, and then my coach started talking to me about, you can go to school for this. We can make sure that they pay your way through school. But at the same time, I was also in drama, which I really, really enjoyed.
Hmm.
Crazy story. So this one weekend, it was my senior year. My professor or my teacher, I think teacher in high school, my drama teacher to be specific, said, "Hey, I have an audition for you in New York." But that same weekend, my coach also told me, "Hey, there's going to be a coach from Coastal Carolina that's going to be at this track meet." And I had to decide between the two. And my mom was like, "Girl,
Wow.
you better go what's going to pay for college." And it kept bugging me that I really wanted to go to New York, but I felt like, I didn't want my mom to have to pay for college. I wanted to be able to make her proud. So I ended up not going to the audition, which looking back, I'll be like, I just want to tap myself in the head like, no, no. So I ended up going to Coastal Carolina. I ran track. I studied exercise sports science, and I thought I was going to be a physical therapist. That's what I went for. That when I graduated, I was like, okay, cool. That's just a stepping stone degree. So you then have to go get other degrees to actually become a physical therapist. But as I was graduating, I was like, yeah, mama, I don't think this is what I want to do. Like, can I change my major and stay in college a little longer? Or like, because I want to switch to drama.
Yeah.
But she was like, it's time to graduate. Just go and get child. So after I graduated, I got into like corporate. Still, media is not in my mind at all. Mind you, along the way I've done like fashion shows and different things like this, but still in my mind it's not, oh, this can be an occupation. This can be something that you pursue. It wasn't until 2 years after I graduated, maybe 3 years after I graduated, that I left. I was living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and randomly went to an event. One of my photographers that I met, I went to an event and he was like, "Hey, I think you'll be, great at this. Let me introduce you to XYZ." And then met that person. It was like, "Oh, you can do red carpets. Have you ever done them before?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I have."
Exactly. Right.
Because technically I did red carpets at those events that I was throwing for my family. And
Oh, okay. Yeah.
technically the hair shows and things, technically I've done it. So from there, it wasn't until I came to Atlanta about 5 years ago now that I actually like started pursuing media and start thinking of it like this can be something that's like my occupation that I actually get paid for.
Hey,
That I
man.
don't, I was still working a corporate job along the way. Some people think it's just, oh, you move and lights, camera, action. No, when I moved here, I was homeless for a little bit, but still, working, going to different events for free, not getting paid. And then just along the way, just the journey just picked up more and more.
Man, you can't say homeless to black folk and it's gonna go bad. Now, when you say homeless now, because but like when you living in your car, what's going on?
Yeah. So I was living in my car. I moved down here with a family member, and I had an apartment back in Myrtle Beach. And because I was transitioning corporate jobs, I couldn't afford my place back in Myrtle Beach and to pay the relative that I was living with here. So I ended up just moving out, and I was living in my car. It's gonna sound crazy to say by the grace of God, but by the grace of God, my job had 24-hour access. So I just slept in my car in the garage, and then I would just go
Yeah.
into my job to shower, and change clothes, and then I would go to work
Wow.
and just do it all over again. Yeah.
My God, girl, you a hustler. I'm digging you, girl. That's
God is good.
I know you ain't tell your mama. I'm gonna leave that alone. I know you ain't. It's one of them jokes like, I want to do this, but I can't tell mom and them. If I tell mom and them, it's on and popping.
She would have been. She just would have been like, come back home. And I knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel, right? I knew that I could get through this. But also at the same time, and this is something I've learned through therapy, like I was used to it because I had been homeless before. My mom, my little sister, and we've lived in a car before when I was in 4th grade. We were traveling from North Carolina to South Carolina. My mom was in between jobs and we were living in the car. So to me, it wasn't something I felt like I had to broadcast or like, oh, hey, I need help, red flag, because I've been here before. So I felt like, it was close to home. I love being in the car, weirdly enough. So it wasn't like a red flag as opposed to somebody that may not have experienced before.
Yeah. Amen. You know, it's funny how things, as you said, like that prepared me for this moment. You know what I mean? I was ready at this time, and the whole time, as you said, by the grace of God. But sometimes we are in sticky spots, and God has us, and so no, that's cool though. I'm digging this, man. So you so you enjoying it, and you going and you getting into this thing. So who was the person you met that said, hey, Symphony, I'm gonna give her a chance to do this thing. What was the first thing, like the first job you had? Really, like I know the red carpet, but like hosting.
Oh, that's a good. I've never been asked that question before. I can't say I remember my first hosting job, but I will say there's 3 guys that I always pay homage to. Daytrick, this guy named Daytrick, this guy named Jerome, and then this guy named Chris. All of them have helped me along my journey in the early stages. Saying like, hey, I see something in you and I want to make sure I hold you accountable to that. Anybody that I know or any resources that I know, I want to connect you to it. I want to say my first hosting gig probably came from Jerome, because we were working with one another the most, because Chris lived back home in Greenville, South Carolina. Jerome lived here in Atlanta. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure he was the one that connected me to my first hosting gig in Atlanta. But I'm going to have to look back now. That's a good one. I got to look back now.
You so young, girl. You 10 plus 19. That's it. You know what I mean? It ain't like you so old. That's it.
I say my soul is old. My spirit is young.
That's what it is.
My
Praise
soul.
the Lord.
That
I got an old soul.
That baby.
Oh Lord.
My grandma, my grandpa, like growing up with them, like I definitely have all my friends. I'm like the old soul for sure.
Okay, so you get cold easy then. All right, because you old fashioned black. All right.
Two blankets on the couch. 2 blankets on the
couch. Oh man. So all right. So we're coming along now. So how do we get to the point? I have to know how you got to. So what came first? Let me ask you that. Black Black Friday Report or Comedy Hype News? Which one was first?
Comedy Hype News came first. So this was in the middle of quarantine. As you know, like a lot of things had gotten shut down. By this time, I have already done, big events like Essence Festival, Bronner Brothers, went on an HBCU tour with Ford, worked with Sirius XM. There was a lot of things that actually right before we had to be quarantined, I was supposed to do the Tom Joyner cruise. Was so excited. I was like on the edge of my seat, like, please don't cancel, please don't cancel, please don't cancel. And of course, and rightfully so, it got canceled. It was canceled.
Yeah.
And we were rehearsing for it and everything. There's a guy here as well. He's over experiential experts, and we do a lot of our events together. So when we do Essence Festival, he hires me to go out there, and we were supposed to do the Tom Joyner. So after all these events started getting canceled, Essence Festival got canceled, the Tom Joyner cruise got canceled, the HBCU tour got canceled. So all my events started to get canceled. And I was just like, you know what, God, like, I'm going to trust you. You just tell me what to do. And he led me to do the Daniels fast. I don't even remember how, like, it came up. But I did the Daniel's fast, and literally the next week after, and by the way, let me tell you about it. Now, for the ones that don't know what a Daniel's fast is, that's where you only eat fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me just say, you got to be careful, because randomly that week, so at that time I had moved back in with my dad, and I had moved in with my dad, and I'm in the last couple days of my fast, and I'm getting it, like I'm making it through. I'm like, oh, I see there's health benefits. I feel good. I have more energy. I'm not bloated.
Yeah. I'm regular. Go ahead. Just say it. Go ahead and say it.
That look, my grandma used to tell me all the time, baby, if you're not, something wrong. So that was always a clip for me. But randomly my dad decided to have a cookout. I don't even think we were celebrating anything. A random cookout, and he had some of my favorite food down there. I mean, like deviled eggs. He had some good chicken, like all this stuff. And I smell it upstairs. All I hear is fruits and vegetables. And my daddy cooked, and I'm in the last, I think, 2 days of my fast.
Wow.
And I'm just like, Lord, if I can just get the little piece, I just take this. Yeah. And I was just like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So that was that weekend. Literally that following week, I got reached out by Comedy Hype. Don't know how they found me to this day. I think it was through social media. I think I tried to ask, like, was there a hat? Like, I'm asking, what, like, was it a hashtag? Was it like, what was it that made you found me? So Comedy Hype and another show that is no longer in existence reached out to me in the same week. And I decided to go forward with Comedy Hype because the other show was just, it just didn't align with my brand. So that's when I got in contact with Comedy Hype. And at first I hadn't heard of the platform before. So, I went to go do a visit with Comedy Hype, went to the studio, and just fell in love. I fell in love with their mission. I fell in love. They're all Black. They're Black owned, independently owned, and just like what they've been able to build. So as soon as, once I met them and what they said I would be doing, I was like, absolutely. Like this is if it makes sense, like, absolutely. And then since then we've been rocking and growing, and it's grown crazy since I've been there. Like, yeah, it's been a crazy journey.
Well, I'll say this: you guys got 372,000 followers on YouTube. So subscribers.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's actually, I think now it's 700 and I know it's over 720,000 subscribers.
Wow. Well, you know what? Philadelphia must got a lag in their internet service or something.
Yeah,
get out of here.
On YouTube, it's over 720,000. I don't know what it is on Instagram, but I know on YouTube it's over 700.
Wow! Are you kidding me? That's major. That's at that point where it's like whatever you say is like it's news now. You know what I mean? It's literally news because everyone is tuned in. That's crazy. So you get on there now. Now, let's just talk a little bit about Comedy Hype because y'all always in trouble. Let me just say that. I'm like, I said, man, they got targets on their backs already. I said, what is going on? Everybody's getting mad at the cast. I said, what the world? So you got Capone, you got Pierre, you got Rita. Rita is the regular female that's on there, right? Because I know. Lately, you've been using. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You was. I can't pronounce her name.
Yamanika.
Yamanika, girl. Ooh, Lord have mercy.
I love her.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If it's not a spot from her, she like Shaq was. When he came on the show that he's on now with Charles and them, he just made room. Like, excuse me.
Absolutely.
mean. She is making, ripples, man, because she lets you know how Black she is. She lets you know where she's coming from. And she lets you know where she's going. And she lets you know where she ain't going. Seriously, she is really that strong. And I'm like, wow, I would hate to follow up behind her with a quick.
And she would definitely love. I'm gonna definitely make sure to tell her you said that she would love and appreciate that. So Rita Brent was the first regular analyst on the show, but she left us for another opportunity. She was, I think it's announced now. She was a writer on Charlemagne the God's show for Comedy Central. So
Yeah.
yeah, she walked away from us. But yeah, now we have Yamanika Saunders. We did have Vanessa Fraction, but now we have Yamanika Saunders. She's on every Wednesday with Pierre. And them two, oh my gosh, they are
Oh,
literally when I think of our show, I think of the way ESPN kind of has some of those conversations, and you have two people going
yeah.
back and forth. Yamanika and Pierre is the same way, and sometimes Pierre and Capone as well. But yeah, we're
Yeah.
always in heat because I mean it's one the world that we're in. Like if you have an opinion that's the opposite of what somebody feels, somebody gonna say something. Like somebody gonna be hurt, upset, and I'm just I gotta rant. I gotta tell you how I feel. Let me, you know,
Yeah.
and they go in. But honestly, like it truly is a blessing to work with Pierre Capone, as well as Yamanika. They give me so much insight, and they're hilarious. It's difficult for me to like keep a straight face on the show because sometimes like when they go edit, I'm over there like trying to hold my tummy. I'm like, girl, just
Yeah.
like telling myself, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. But afterwards, like, I let it go. Like, I let it rip. I'm laughing. I'm like, and when you said that, Pierre, you know you almost messed me up. Right. You
Yeah.
almost messed me up. You almost messed me up.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
what it looked
it's
like. It
good.
looked like you and Pierre are more close. I just get. I'm just by watching you. It look like you and Pierre are close, or closer, but probably than anybody else on there. I don't know, maybe because he's always on there. You know what I mean? So I know. Capone had, he had took some, like took some time off or something, whatever the case may be. But when I was looking, I was like, man, I was like, y'all look like y'all pretty cool, man. I was just laughing.
Yeah,
But so
we're
how?
honestly
You go ahead. I'm
we're
sorry.
all yeah, we're all like a huge family. Like even when they go back and forth on the show, like afterwards we're laughing, we're like right back into just being a family because the beauty of it is showing that you can have two opposing views about something and still get
Amen.
along, still be
Amen.
able to have a fruitful conversation. I'm gonna let you speak and say what you want to say, or even if I get emotional and I'm talking over you, like our points will be made and I really appreciate that about them. Like, because, sometimes it can get really hostile with certain people will not be able to express themselves and then still have love for somebody. Like, hey, we may not agree on this, but I respect you. And that's
Yeah.
that's what's most important at the end of the day. But yeah, Pierre's on definitely Monday through Wednesday. Capone is Monday and Tuesday. Capone is definitely a lot more reserved, but no, that's both of them are like my big brothers. I tell them all the time, like, hey, if I need anything, like, you got my back, right? Like, when things get
Yo.
crazy, if these comments go crazy, you got my back, right? And yeah, they are. I love them both. They are hilarious. They're good guys. Like they're good men. Like they're really, really good men, and they do make sure that I'm protected at all times, and make sure that I feel protected at all times.
Yeah, that's what I get from them with you guys when I hear you guys just like the in between each other. But you just keep it together so much, and it's like, man, because you just stay on point. You never dive in. I love that about you as a moderator. As I said before, like on CNN, I've seen people do some, moderating, and even on PBS, and they just have to give their opinion in the middle. And it's like a moderator really don't supposed to get their opinion. You know what I mean? They're there to actually just weigh all the facts and say, hey, and present the next question. And you do such a good job. So where did you learn that? Where did that come from? Is it something you learned at school, or that was your mama,
That
teaching you?
you that is it's a great question. I do really call what I do a gift, because I didn't go to school for it. I've never had anybody sit me down and say, "Hey, this is the way you do it." The closest mentor I've had, I'll honestly say Rita Brent. When she came on, there was definitely some pointers that she's given me along the way. As far as being able to like keep the conversation going, of course we have like a producer that's on set, but then also just understanding my role, understanding that I am the moderator. Sometimes there will be where I will comment on it, especially if it's Pierre and Capone and I'm the only woman on the panel, just to give a woman's perspective. Sometimes they'll
Hmm.
ask me a question, but one thing we always want to make sure we do, especially with certain conversations, is have that equal opportunity to get different point of views. And sometimes when we're discussing issues that may be dealing with women, to hear from only men would skew, that response. So a lot of people may be looking at it like, well, here we are again hearing men talk about women and not being able to get that insight. But yeah, just understanding what my role is, what the goal is, and beforehand being able to, sit down and say, okay, hey, here's the topic today. Here are the points that we need to get across.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it done.
Amen. Amen. No, but that's cool. As I said, I really love how you hold it together, and it's like, they're going in, they coming from left and from right, and the topics be so on point because they happen. And the topics y'all handle is in real time. So how do y'all do that? So y'all just what? I mean, it's like, do you guys have like a prep time, or is it just off the cuff?
When you say prep time, no, so it's new, it's news, right? So it's basically news. So sometimes we get the topic day of, maybe 30 minutes before. We've been in situations where we'll have one topic, but then 10 minutes before the show have to shift. And honestly, like the cast, myself, like we do a great job of working together. Hey, beforehand, let's present some facts. Let's, hey, if we realize, and my producer does a great job also of understanding, like if we're about to go on and we change the topic 5 minutes, hey, let's take 3 of those to each give a fact that we learned, or be able to, express, hey, this is, what I'm thinking, or this is what I received from it. But we work together as a team because it's news, and it's literally like most times day of. It's hardly ever that we get the topic a week in advance or a couple days in
Mm-hmm.
advance, not even a day in advance. It's same day. Let's pump it out. And shout out to our editors. Oh my gosh, they turn that thing around in one day.
Yes.
And I'd be like,
Yeah.
you good? You need some water? Can I do something for you? Like, you need some tea? I got some ginger tea. You need some ginger tea? I got some ginger tea. But yeah, we just work together as a team. I'm big on making sure that we're taken care of, mentally. So although I am a talent, like I do a lot of work for Comedy Hype outside of that. I also serve as the operations manager, as well as the hiring manager, and different things like that. But just being able to assist where I can, because I understand, like, it takes a village, it takes a family to really do what we're doing, and to be an all Black owned platform, like that's
That's
something to be
huge.
proud of. Yeah, that's something to be proud of. So yeah, we work together as a family, and those topics, and sometimes beforehand we be like, we gonna get a lot for this one. They not gonna like it for this one. They
Now
not gonna
it's
like it.
it's a couple of topics that y'all was going over. I said I want to hear, because you never really give your perspective. But let's just dive right into the church guy, the brother who was held up. I'm sorry, Lord, the pastor who was held up during his sermon.
Now he know.
You got me hollering. Oh my God, you crazy. You got, yeah, whatever. You got that whatever, brother. So what do
He
you think?
know.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Here's the thing, like when first of all, when the topic came, I was just like, ooh, like this
Yeah.
one, it touches home for me. But I also told my producer, as Christians and as followers of Christ, like it doesn't excuse us to be held accountable.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I,
no.
and I let him know, like, let's have the conversation, because he did come to me and ask, like, hey, I know this is like sensitive at home for you. Like, how are you feeling? Like, you good? Like, how you feel? And I was like, no, like, we can be held accountable. Absolutely.
Big time, yeah.
When I saw the live, it was just like, I understand, like, whether you're a Christian or not, like, you have emotions. Sometimes you act out of those emotions. I know I have definitely acted out of my emotions and been ashamed of things that I've said or done, or whatever the case is. But when you meditate on something or take an extra step, like to get on live to do something and then keep going, I was just like, come on, man, you should have hung this. And then for me, he was getting phone calls while he was calling the young lady names and saying things about the other brother. You're getting a phone call about somebody like, hey, get off live. And he picks up the phone and he's like, tell her stop calling. I'm gonna be all right. So it's like, I definitely understand your pain from your experience.
Amen.
You know, absolutely. And I understand that you may have been hurt that these people were talking about you. However,
yes.
my brother, you
Stop.
shouldn't have got on that live. And then since then, it's just been like other stuff coming out. And it's like, just because someone says and this isn't about him, but just in general, someone says they're a pastor or someone becomes a pastor, it doesn't necessarily mean they were meant to be a pastor.
Yeah.
God talks about it. God talks about it. I mean, if you even look at the word, it's some folks. I'm not gonna call nobody, you know. Anyway. So, yes, he's a pastor, and I respect, you know, but it's just, you know, certain you can't follow everybody. You can't follow everybody. And I had to stop looking. You better not follow everybody. Okay, you need some discernment. Pray about, and that's why people, like, you can go to church, you can like do those are beautiful, but you need your own time with God. You need to be connected to Him yourself. Be connected to the source, so that it absolutely. Because I've been to churches, you know, in my experience here in Atlanta, where when I was trying to find my church home, you know, I would go different places and I would just feel it in my gut. Like, I understand the difference. When it's from God, I feel it in my stomach, like literally in my gut. When it's me, it's in my head, because we know that's the devil's playground. Like, he love to play up in here. So, you know, you have to have that discernment of who do you consider your leader? Who is your pastor? And just, with that one, it was definitely disappointing. Disappointing.
Yeah.
And I was, and the more stuff that just kept coming out, I was like, come on, man, like, can you stop?
He was like, Khaled, another one.
Another one.
Like, yo, dog.
I think, okay, this will be the last thing I say. He did a live about his prayer closet. And I think that was probably what like did it for me, because he started out the video like, oh, I want to show you my prayer closet, and like showing all the name brands that it has. And then at that point, that's when it's like, okay, this isn't even worth like my attention at this point, because you're seeking attention. And this is foolishness at this point. I'm gonna call it what it is. Like, I'm gonna pray for you, and then I'm gonna keep going. So I said a prayer, and I went on, because
you went. That's last week's news, right? All right, and then I'm gonna ask you about one more.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, exactly. You know it's coming, right? Listen, because the fact that Capone said he had knew him, and you know, that was funny about the pastor. He's been Capone like, I know him, man.
Because he was heavy in the streets. He talks about it more. Yeah. And so the pastor, he used to be, you know, he's gone to prison before.
Yeah.
So and Capone is from New York. So before we did that, the show, when we were talking about what the topic was, Capone was like, it's crazy. Like, I didn't even realize, like, I know this man. I don't know him. I ain't know him as a pastor first. But like, I know who this man is, and I was like, "Oh Lord, Capone, what you trying to?
Lord, what's going on, Capone?"
Yeah, man.
Yo, he was brutal. But anyway, all right. So the next one would be Monique and Netflix reuniting, and as Pierre said. Pierre said, what did he say? I'm so glad for her and her babies. Lord have mercy. I said, if I hear something about them babies one more time, I'm going to hit my head against the wall. But anyway, I'm so tired about these babies. Have money, go gather my babies, my precious babies. Oh, Lord. So what do you think about, I mean, like from the aspect, I ain't going to lie to you. I was in Monique corner, because basically at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. And, you know, two things can be true at the same time. You know, basically, boo, you can go too far. And at the same time, they have violated you and they owe you money. And they shouldn't, kind of, you know, downplay your salary. Yeah. Because they did. And a lot of people want to hear, well, you're not Dave Chappelle. I said, well, she's not saying she is Dave Chappelle. But I know, I'm just saying in retrospect, I'm just saying, like, you know, like my opinion on Monique. I want people to know I'm not against Monique, because I got some things out there talking, I was advocating her. But what did you think about her? And now, like, she's cool with this one again. She's cool with what's the gentleman name? Oh God, the producer. Oh God, his name evades me at the time. Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Lord. Yeah, so Lee Daniels. What you think about that and her release?
Okay, with Lee Daniels, it was at first when I first saw it, I was wondering like, was this planned? Did he pop up surprise? Like, my mind went to like, I'm curious as to how it was set up. And I'm going to be completely honest about with Netflix. When I saw her reunite with Netflix, my first thought was, well, Monique, are you going to come reunite with Comedy Hype?
Wow.
Because Monique has done, and I may get in trouble for this, but it's okay. Monique has done an interview with us, and in full transparency, it didn't go the way that she thought it would go. And since then, I think she's gotten upset about certain topics that we've covered along the journey with, her and Netflix. I've always, just like you, right is right, wrong is wrong. So regardless of how you felt like Monique's approach or how she handled the situation, she definitely did not deserve to feel, to be in that type of position. Absolutely. We understand that black people, right? Black people in this is like, we can't, it's kind of like, this is what I say. You know how when people say Black Lives Matter, and then you have some people that say all lives matter.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way when people say, well, hey, Black people are being treated XYZ, but then as soon as a woman say something, it's just like, oh yeah, you're going through it, but all Black people are. Like, yes, I'm not saying that all Black people don't matter, but right now I'm focused on what Black women are going through. Yeah. And Black women in many industries, including comedy, they do get paid less. They don't get as many opportunities. And it's always just one Black woman at a time, or a certain type of Black woman at a time. But anyway, right is right, wrong is wrong. So I've always been, Monique, I'm saying it's certain things that I'm like, come on, Monique, what we got going on? But as a whole, like and even like I mentioned earlier, I've always been a Monique fan. When I saw her reunion now, and so yeah, like I was saying, so we've done an interview with her. It didn't go as she wanted. We've reached out to Monique and her husband multiple times to rectify the situation, and we've always been turned down.
Wow.
And it's and even I went to one of her shows, and this broke my heart. I went to one of her shows, and she was walking past everybody and was giving everybody a hug. And when I gave her a hug, and I was just like, I just want to let you know Comedy Hype loves you. And she just like pulled away and like walked off. And for me, it's just, if you can, because I truly believe in, not holding grudges. If you have an issue with somebody, you're able to solve it. That's absolutely beautiful. But if you can solve it with Netflix, and Netflix did you dirty in a way of they treated you different because you're a Black woman, but a Black-owned company that's doing very well, that did not, do anything to, you're little than or less than. We don't see your value, whatever. We've always tried to rectify the situation. So for me, it was like, that's beautiful that you rectified your situation with Netflix. What about this Black-owned company, Comedy Hype? You gonna come over here and rectify over here too? Yeah. But that was just my opinion.
No, that's real rap. I love that. Because it's it's true.
I'm gonna get in trouble messing with y'all.
I know. Hey, look. We trying to climb to the top. We gonna do it on your back. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. No, I'm playing.
No. But that should be okay. And I was just talking. So I was just talking to one of my friends about our people. Sometimes we feel like, oh, why are you trying to use me? Don't use, like, no, why? Like, I want you to use me. Why would I not want you to use me? Don't lie to me, or don't do something negative towards me to use me. But it's okay for you to use me, because I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Man, like, or even if it's not an even exchange, like, just being able to contribute to a Black platform. If you know that you have a following and you can come on another Black platform to say, hey, let me add value. Let me have an interview with you, so that if you need to use me in whatever way to elevate, then let's do it. Like, it's okay. because other people be using each other. Don't even like each other.
Don't even like each other.
Like, I don't like Jeff down the road, but Jeff got XYZ, and I'm gonna go to jail for XY. Right. Like, so we have to do a better job of being okay with connecting and using each other, and it's just about doing it in the right way.
You know what? I'll say this about I always give him props for doing this, and he's been on with us. He's about to come on with us for the third time. Pastor Creflo Dollar. Everybody know Pastor Creflo Dollar is, and right after the jet incident about the jet, don't you know it was 3 months after the jet incident. Don't you know he gave us an interview?
Wow.
He gave, and I'm saying, well, Lord, who are we? Because, CNN wanted to talk to him, ABC wanted to talk, everybody in the world wanted to talk to him about the jet incident. And all my friends was like, ask him about the jet, ask him about the jet. I was like, no. I was actually having him on talking about, because he had counseled Mike Brown's family, and then he came on also and talked about at George Floyd, like the church's next move. And to give us those interviews was awesome to me. You know what I mean? And it's like in the midst of the heat of everything, because he's a part of like some of his not congregation, but also his the circles that he in are like Caucasian. You know what I mean? And
right.
But down in the Bible Belt where they believe that Black folks are being treated fairly. Yeah. But he gave us an interview and was very candid about what was going on and how he didn't approve of it. And
and I honestly think that's how it should be. Like, I honestly like, if we're, for example, let's take the Chris Rock situation. We haven't heard him respond to it directly. Of course, like in his shows, he's kind of touched on it. I pray he goes to a Black platform to say, Amen. Hey, I know the world is waiting for this. Because the thing is, of course, most of them take, the CNNs and all this because they pay, a large amount of money for it. Mm-hmm. But at some point, for me at least, like, I'm more passionate about, especially if I know that I have money, I'm growing, I have investments, I put myself in position to continue to grow for myself and for generational wealth, then why would I not want to pull up my people? Because Amen. We already know how we get treated as Black media anyway. If you're ever on a red carpet, Black media is always like pushed to the side, or you see people's PRs like going right past, the Black media or Black outlets. So it's just like, why would you not? One platform, I personally don't keep up with their content, but I like, of course, I'll see it like on my timeline where people are like reposting it. But Hollywood, I think it's Hollywood Unlocked. Wow. The gentleman that owns that, he's a Black man, and he has like close relationships with a lot of celebrities, and a lot of them will call him to say, hey, I know I haven't spoken, but I'm going to give you this information. And like, that's what I want to see more of that. And it doesn't just have to be platforms like that, like whether it's a smaller platform or, just if you're trending, go see your people and then go, because CNN still gonna want you, like still gonna get your bag. Just go here first.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm all for it.
Love it. That's why we even love the fact that you just took the time and say, hey, look, I'm gonna come on here with these two Negroes because let me pull them up.
Y'all, y'all are amazing. I love what y'all are doing. And even honestly, when I was talking to Ivy, I was telling him, like, I love the energy. I love being able, like, especially like being Christian based and just showing like there are so many parts to us. Like, being a Christ follower, we are like, we diverse. We have fun because sometimes you meet certain people and they just like, I keep my head down and they just seem so sad and like just. But then when you have like high energy, they're like, wait, what? You believe in what? You what? Like. Yeah, all this energy. Like, y'all too great for me to be quiet. What I be quiet for? He's been too great. He woke me up this morning. I'm gonna be singing out the bed. So no, it was an honor. It was an honor to come on here.
Oh, well, we thank you. We truly do thank you. So I know our time was almost okay. So let me ask you this, but you're like, I gotta eat my chicken, man. But
no, You know, Salmon got me in a choke. Salmon is the new chicken. Growing up, I used to chicken.
We had salmon last night.
I'm about to have salmon tonight.
Oh man, we had night with Caesar. I put my Caesar salad, man. I boiled my eggs, chopped them up, put them in there with that Caesar salad. Woo, girl, please.
I love a good Caesar salad with a salmon on top. I do.
Yeah, see, I'm 6'4", like 270. I gotta. Yeah,
come
man,
on,
I'm big brother.
Come on, yeah, that's yes.
Yeah,
that's tall. You tall.
Yeah, tall. Yeah, we all tall, our family, man. Yeah, but you know, we we wanna ask you, and what is your dream job, and where do you see yourself about? Let's say 2 years from now, because you know things always changing really fast, and now you see yourself like on TV, or you know what I mean. Or like, what do you see Symphony at?
So I love being in front of the screen, but after producing Black Friday Report with Killer Mike, I've actually grown to really love also being behind the screen as well. So I do want to own my own media company. I also want to provide opportunities for young girls and young boys. Sorry, if you see anything, it's my dogs like trying to get my attention. So excuse me. But he is a mess. But I see myself owning my own media company, and also creating a program for other people, and not even just young boys and young girls, but people that just want to get into media that may not have had the training, may didn't go to school for it, and just to provide not only trainings and you know things like, but also resources for next steps. Because I truly believe, like, if I banged on a door, or if I had to like shoulder bolt through a door, like I don't feel like you have to do the same thing, especially our people. So I want to be able to provide those opportunities. So within the next 2 years, having my own media company, having Black Friday Report on TV, and then also being able to create a program where I'm able to provide for young children, but then also teens, adults that want to get into media.
Wow, that's awesome. So you do that with Killer Mike. Oh man, now man, look, you gotta be on point with Killer Mike. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That is my brother. Oh my gosh, I love that man to death. He welcomed me with open arms. I met him through social media because of Black Friday. And I just held him accountable really quick because I know you gotta go. So on his show Trigger Warning on Netflix, he pretty much challenged everybody to support Black-owned businesses every Friday. And I took that and ran with it. I was already supporting Black-owned businesses, but I didn't promote it as much on social media. So I would promote it on social media, and then I would hold him accountable. Like, okay, hey, here's who I'm supporting. Who you supporting this week? Because you said who you supporting? And then from there we birthed Black Friday Report. So he's co-executive producer on it. We're currently in the pitching stage right now to different networks, and then we're also seeking sponsors and other partnerships. So if anybody is interested, you can email me at info@blackfridayreport.com. And I'm truly honored to be working side by side by Killer Mike. That man is more than an artist.
Yes, he is.
Some people may have known him as an artist, but he truly is for the community and for us. Yeah, he's not like, he's so open and just love. And him and his wife Shay Bigger, I love her as well. Super sweet woman. Her and I, we're gonna go to gun training together, tactical training together. So her and I are linking up soon. But yeah, I love Killer Mike and love being able to do this project with him. So I'm excited to bring it to the world, because I really think it's gonna make a huge difference of the way that people view Black-owned business and understand how important Black economics are, like how important, one, it is, and two, how we need to understand it and really emerge ourselves in it. We've seen what our people done through the hard times, so we can definitely do it. I want to be a piece in that puzzle to move us forward. So
yeah, most definitely. I feel that. Yeah. So the last two things. One, you have to give us a shout out, and the second thing, I should have really asked you in reverse order, but are you engaged, or do you have a significant other in your life?
I am not engaged. I got this on the wrong hand. Okay, look. Okay, yeah. I had to look like, Lord, did I put this on the wrong hand? Yeah, we good. That finger is.
She's like, man, I'm in my development stage. I ain't got time.
You know what? My therapist is amazing. I know I can't say her name, but I love her. I've definitely grown a lot and understood like relationships a lot more than I have before. Because now I'm asking myself like, oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't get married when I thought I wanted to, because I'm not ready. I was not ready to be a wife. My husband had. I'd be looking at my friends and they married with kids, and I'd be like, girl, you blessed. You are blessed. Yeah, the Lord got some more work to do in me. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to make sure that because sometimes you can be so busy when it comes, like, I know my biggest challenge is going to be consistently cooking for my family, because being so busy, it can be so hard. I'd be like, how y'all work a full day? And Mama's back in the day, I give it up to y'all, because I'd be like, oh, y'all did that by y'all set. Oh, you are blessed. You are blessed.
All these kids, all these noses wiped, and people think that kids just come ready and dressed. Now you got to wash their little behind. You got to put their little clothes on and get them ready. Man,
I have 4 goddaughters, and I had 2 of them a couple weeks ago when their mom was giving birth to the third, and they're 2 and 1. And let me tell you, baby, I stepped outside to shoot Comedy Hype Show on my porch, came back in, they knocked my mirror over, they knocked my plant over. I was like, let me tell you, I was shaking. Let me tell y'all, go to bed. Right in my head, I'm like, exactly. Go to bed. You sleep. You sleep. No, I do love kids, but oh my, yeah, no, they don't come ready. They in terrible twos. Oh yeah, but that's another topic. But yeah, y'all gonna know when I'm engaged. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be saying fiance on every interview in the beginning. Yeah, my fiance told me.
I know, right? Just leading into it.
And Comedy Hype, like for Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson, such and such fiance. Like, oh, y'all gonna know. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna have it on a necklace. I'm a fiance. I'm a fiance. Be on my put it in my makeup. Y'all gonna know. Trust me, I'm gonna be talking like this. So I was going down the street and I heard
she gonna have the bling bang, you know what I mean? Like
oh my God, you gotta stop. Let me y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna be prepared to be sick of me when I get engaged. Prepared to be sick of me.
No.
I'll be like Beyonce, like this. You put that ring on me,
like girl, put the ring down.
I'll be like, come here real quick. Come here. Yeah, no. Y'all gonna know. Trust, I'm shirts and everything. It's gonna be a whole
t-shirts. I'm a fiance t-shirt.
Pray for my future husband. Pray for him. Pray for my baby. Pray for my baby.
Lord, now you crazy.
Yeah. So right now you can keep up with Black Friday Report on Instagram at Black Friday Report. Also on my Instagram at Symphony Thompson. We're currently in the pitching stage. So I will say there's one station that we've locked in with and secured that partnership. We're just waiting for one more to be on a bigger platform. So you're not able to see the episodes, but stay tuned because we're going to have an exclusive event where you're able to come watch a screening before it's released on TV. So yes, stay tuned. God is working them fingers. God is working them fingers. Yes, and I'm doing my work because faith without works is dead. So I'm living a life faith with works. That's my life, faith with works, and we doing it. So,
you're silly. Yes. Hey, we appreciate you. Hey, look, enjoy your night. Go eat that salmon, woman.
I'm about to
go
chop it up.
Eat that dead animal, girl. We all need it.
Come on now, God, Jesus had to be. He had salmon. That fish was salmon. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
We getting back. We getting back to it. But thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night as well.
Amen. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What's up, y'all? It's the Media Chameleon Symphony Thompson, and I'm listening to PraisEluJAH with Brother D and Sister A.